Dear all, a very warm welcome to the Havells Insignia Presents ADEX, a series by Realty Plus Masterclass. ADEX Talks is a unique initiative dedicated to facilitate the development of an ecosystem for world-class designers in India. The one-of-a-kind architecture and design talk show aims to enable the process of collaboration with the best in the industry so as to position architects, designers, and manufacturers as partners. So this was a brief introduction what this episode is all about. I am Sapna Srivastava, editor Realty Plus magazine, and let's begin with a brief introduction of Realty Plus.
Some people are born to show the world which path to choose in a crisis. Some brands are born to do the same. And during the times of challenge, the stalwarts of Indian real estate industry have chosen to do just that by showing others the way to finding opportunities even amidst a crisis. By showing the world how to go about delivering on promises even amidst adversity. Success doesn't just happen. It happens by design, by pushing the boundaries, by raising the bar. It's days of creating a vision and nights of bringing it to life. Knowing that pictures are worth 1,000 words and every word makes a difference. It's doing the research, trusting your instinct and finishing what you started. For the past 17 years, Realty Plus has been turning obstacles into opportunities, keeping the industry informed on the latest developments. Innovating to inspire debate and discussion. Bringing forth the perspectives of industry leaders. Honoring hard work and achievement. Keeping the industry connected. This is what we are built on. This is what we are building. We are Realty Plus, and we lead the way.
So friends, this was a brief snippet of what Realty Plus is, its products and its initiatives. And to know more about Realty Plus, do get in touch with Ms. Tripti Kedia, publisher and business head, Realty Plus. And now moving on to the program of the day, let me welcome Mr. Vivek Yadav, Senior Vice President, Havells India Limited, to share his views on this ADEX series presented by Havells Insignia. Let me give a brief introduction of Mr. Yadav. He is an industry veteran with over 31 years of experience in electrical and automation, having worked in all domains from residential, commercial, industrial, and infrastructure. He has extensive experience in products and solutions from circuit productions in low voltage and medium voltage to automation in industries and homes. Mr. Yadav is currently handling Havells domestic circuit protection, electrical wiring accessories, and home automation business, along with projects and enterprise business, which cuts across all business verticals in Havells. So, Mr. Yadav, thank you for being here with us, and let me hand it over to you now.
Thank you, Sapna. Thank you for that generous introduction. So I welcome all our viewers and audience for this episode. Yet another fresh episode of ADEX series, which is part of our bigger program, which is called the Havells Insignia. Before I proceed ahead and give you more details of the program, let us have Havells AV first. Let's view that AV. It is important for our audience to know what Havells is. There may be a lot of audience who are watching our series, but for the uninitiated ones, I think it's important to see this AV. So let's have the AV first, and then I'll come back again.
For more than 6 decades, Havells India Limited has been focusing on building a better future. A future where technology is used to drive progress, improve business outcomes, and create a better quality of life. Today, Havells stands tall in the FMEG sector as a major power distribution equipment manufacturer with a strong global footprint, owing to its innovative future-ready products for a wide spectrum of applications. With the acquisition of Lloyd in 2017, Havells has made a foray into high-potential consumer durable segment with offerings of air conditioners, LED televisions, washing machines, refrigerators, and dishwashers. The new synergy further complements the brand's deeper into home's vision. Havells owns some of the most prestigious global brands like Crabtree, Lloyd, Standard, and Rio. Its global network constitutes over 5,000 professionals across its offices. As part of its Make in India philosophy, Havells is manufacturing 97% of its products in-house. With 14 state-of-the-art, fully automated manufacturing plants located across India, Havells offers superior quality and globally benchmarked products to its customers. Havells has set up a large distribution network to set new benchmarks in prompt delivery and service to customers. Over 11,000 dealers, 150,000 retailers, and 700 plus Havells Galaxy exclusive brand showrooms across the country are helping customers to choose from its wide range of products. Havells has a robust supply chain management system with 31 warehouses located pan-India. The meticulous forecasting and demand planning delivers seamless tracking system. Havells is the first FMEG company to offer doorstep service, offering a seamless post-purchase experience. It has the largest service network with 800 plus service points covering 441 towns 24/7 across India. Havells Center for Research and Innovation (CRI) at Noida, with a team of highly qualified engineers and designers, continuously work towards creating differentiated and innovative products while adhering to stringent quality norms at par with international standards. Havells products are certified by nationally accredited laboratories such as CPRI and ERDA. Havells has a strong in-house IT vertical which develops innovative technology platforms to support its robust service and supply chain management system. Growing together is ingrained in the ethos of Havells and has resulted in it launching many innovative and profitable schemes for its dealer community. Havells has strong credentials in B2B and large government projects as well, such as lighting up Kolkata railway station and partnering with NBCC India Limited to beautify and transform the night view of India's heritage monuments like Humayun's tomb, as it believes in the philosophy of spearheading the progress of the nation without ignoring the past. Havells has taken giant strides to create an innovative world full of possibilities, not only for itself, but also for all its channel partners and customers. With a commitment to improve people's lives and help create a better global society, Havells is inspiring the world and making a difference.
So, dear viewers, you saw the Havells video and the vast range of Havells products and solutions. In our endeavor to take these solutions to our consumers, end users, we interact with the specifiers who influence the decision making on in the entire process of making these products and solutions, selection of them for the end users and customers. So it was important for us to create a platform, a program where we can, get them on board and interact with them, understand them, and also give them an opportunity to interact with the community of our customers and influencers. So we created this program called Havells Insignia about a year ago. And under this program, we are running, various platforms. So the engagement levels are at the innovation, incubation, interaction, and influence. Under the interaction category, the ADEX program that we are seeing today is one such program. We are running various other programs under the interaction category, which is on some programs are on lighting. We are starting another series today, which is on the smart world. So these programs are running to engage the specifier community and also interact with our customers. There are in future, programs under pipeline where we are talking about publishing yearbook for trends. We are also designing contests and awards for our specifiers whom we engage with. There would be white papers as well. So this is a small step from Havells to increase our efforts to address the influencer community and be a significant player in the various, for the various electrical products which are addressing residential, industrial, and infrastructure customer segments. So we'll take the program forward today. I'll hand over back to Sapna to introduce the guest of honor today, the speaker, again, a renowned personality in the specifier community. So over to you, Sapna.
Thanks, Mr. Yadav, for sharing that brief on various Havells initiatives, including this very interesting talk show series and setting the tone of the day. So as Mr. Yadav said, let's bring on stage the star of the day. Joining us is architect Reza Kabul, president of Reza Kabul Architects, a global design studio headquartered in Mumbai with its Western Ancillary Arc Studio Incorporation, California, USA. So let me give a brief introduction of our eminent speaker. One of the foremost talents in the realm of Indian architecture, architect Reza Kabul's foray into the industry was a random experience of viewing books on architecture that proved catalyst enough for switch from engineering to architecture. He set up Arc Reza Kabul Architects Private Limited India in 1988 and further expanded with Arc Studio Pune and Arc Studio Incorporation in San Francisco Bay Area, USA. Reza Kabul has envisioned and successfully executed a string of path-breaking projects centered on the design philosophy of liberating spaces. Reza Kabul has been listed in the Limca Book of Awards 2003 for Shripati Arcade, the tallest building in India. His signature projects are spread globally in United States, India, Mauritius, UAE, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Bhutan, and Kenya. So architect Reza Kabul, thanks for being here with us today, and let me hand it over to you now.
Thank you, Sapna, and thank you, Reality. Thank you, Vivek. It's a great pleasure coming and sharing the dice with you, such eminent Havells and Reality. So today we're going to be just sharing some insights on technology and how we've over the years we have grown from the basic. I mean, architecture, we did not have too much technology initially. It was just on the board and we did work with pencil and drawing boards and T-squares, set squares, the parallels and everything, till the computers came in. And when the computers came in, there were softwares that came in, and softwares for the architects came in. So we started doing a lot of at first it was really a big challenge, switching over from the drawing board to doing, work on the computers. But it was something which you had to change if you wanted to be with time. And so we started moving onto the computers, we started doing softwares. And from the pencil, we came to the digital sketchboard. And, we started we started working, we used to just do sketches, they were all 2D sketches. And we used to, show it to clients. And then later we used to, but these were all 2D sketches. So we could not do a lot of, justice to the design. And we were stuck with the 2D images and sketches. But of course, they are very close to the heart. You can sketch what is there in your inner self, you bring it out, and you can just then, express yourself before it's constructed. But with the innovation of software and the introduction of software, we started moving towards the software from the sketches, and we started moving to computers and BIM, that is building information modeling. And from there, we started looking at 3D options of the building. So initially, we used to look at 2D options. We started looking at 3D options. We could move into the buildings that we were designing. We could move into the, any space that we were designing. We could turn the building around. We could do all sorts of options.
Your work changes the map.
With the introduction of
To achieve success, you need an integrated set of tools that lets you coordinate work across teams, from design to construction. With the AEC collection, every designer, engineer, and contractor has access to multidisciplinary workflows that let them create with ease. Explore what's possible and build with confidence.
It's even before we actually build it, we could move around the building and whatever
to deliver high-performing buildings and infrastructure that transform lives and communities.
Modifying them right through without having to actually build and then, breaking at times. And Autodesk brought us all these softwares. So this is an example of a building that we did while we were doing this design. So we had this, lot of land, and on the lot of land, we had to design the building. The brief was there. It was a information and technology building. And so we started with the requirements that was there. We took the ground and then we, started making it into triangular forms. And we had a restriction on the building size, that is the ground coverage, that was 60%. And we started seeing how we could use it. So we started taking off all these triangular portions and we started building the whole entire model. So these are the different layers. We fixed the core in the center, and how we wanted the light to come in, how we could utilize each and every plate and the corners of the building. So we could experience everything. So with the introduction of all these technologies, we could easily get into the building, feel the building, design the building, live the building, even before we actually build it. And here we did all these offsets, these cutouts, we pulled out all the boxes, the triangles, and we started creating green spaces, and we could see them how we could, incorporated them with the building. So it was an indoor-outdoor kind of an office space. These are the various floors of the building. And then we did a full entire die-grid, facade around it. So we did a lot of iterations as well when we were doing this building, and that was possible. We could, feel how exactly we wanted to use it. And then we came to the final design solutions. Then this is another project. What we are doing is we wanted vertical facades, and we wanted to see which would be the best facade on this surface. So we tried various options. Now these options are possible because of these technologies and the softwares that are available. You can simulate them, you can physically or actually see them, how it would move, what would happen. So this was kind of a dynamic facade we tried there, because the thing is opposite the sea. So we get a lot of breeze. So we wanted to do something which was a dynamic facade. So we tried this, and we did a simulation so we could see how exactly with the wind pressure that was there coming, what would be the movement at various times, at various wind pressures, what are the different forms that would be derived from this kind of this. And this was only possible because of the use of technologies. This was another iteration we did. So we did a lot of basically it's the technology that has changed. And while even before we design the building, we can do, like, we take the site, we do all kinds of study, the sun path, the various, like, this is a project which is within the city and you've got a lot of buildings around it. So we did the total sun study, the solar path study at various times of the day, and what would be the implication of the building on the surrounding site, and what is the implication of the surrounding sites on our building. By doing this, so you exactly know how much of light you would get into the building, and how much of light you don't want to, which light is preferred, the north light is preferred for offices, and what times zones, how do we screen them. So these are all possible with automation and technology that is available today, and I see Halfway having quite a few of them. Even the introduction of parking systems that came in, like this is a very small, tight site we did in Mumbai, in downtown Mumbai. And in a normal course, this building would not have been possible, and we could not, even if we could achieve the building, we couldn't achieve the parking numbers. Now it's a very high-end building, and if you don't get the number of parkings and you don't get the high-end cars parked, nobody's going to go and buy an apartment there. Technology made it possible to achieve the number of parking and in a very small space as well. So how the car moves up, and this is physically after the building is completed. We got this video done, so we could show everybody. It was a major challenge, but we managed it just because of innovation and technology. The other things that we do with technology is like we can even see the photorealistic, images of the buildings or of interiors even before you can, start the building. And you can, when you're conceptualizing the building, you can see the different colors, you can see the different angles, you can see it from different, levels. You can set it the eye at, maybe at 50th floor, or go and see worm's eye view, whatever. Everything is possible and then we can change colors, we can change lighting systems. This is another one where we took the image of the entire site and then we placed our building inside it to see how the building would stand out when it would be completed. This is a photorealistic image, again, a rendered image. So you can see how close it is to completion, and it actually gets done this way. Yeah, this is another angle of the same apartment image where we can, see the quality of finishing, the quality of lighting. We can control the lighting, how much lights you want, what is the lumen of the light we want. All this is possible by using the technology. These are some various interior views, and that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Architect Kabul. Those were some very interesting points that you highlighted. I need to ask you, do you also do site visit through Google Earth?
Of course, that's the fastest today. We can fly through the entire property, and in India, still we do not have a lot of 3D, images on the Google. But overseas, you've got 3Ds as well, so you can exactly see. So it saves a lot of time. You can do a lot of study. You can even see the contours on the land, the surrounding buildings, what the height of the buildings are. And so you can do a lot with technology. I mean, sitting in one place like today, it was not possible. Initially, we never thought Corona, the pandemic taught us that, we could do Zoom calls and we could do all kinds of video conferencing. It was always there, but we never used it so extensively. Today, I mean, we are sitting in different parts of the city or world, and we are still communicating with each other.
That's true. That's true. Mr. Yadav is also there with us. Mr. Yadav, what do you have to say? Technology has kind of, like Architect Reza Kapul just demonstrated, how it has changed the entire way of architectural working. How you have seen this change, and how you are adapting to this change with influencers.
Yeah, there are two aspects. When we look at as manufacturer, when we look at how technology is helping, I think from the standpoint of the electrical products that we make, the most important aspect is how they can contribute towards the environment, which means our products use less of energy, and they are more efficient. So from that standpoint, I think technology is definitely very important, how we build them in our products. So if in that context, if we see for buildings, I mean, Architect Reza Kapul, showed how they conceive designs in building, before even they start physically work on the ground. So it's very fascinating to see how the practice of architecture has evolved over the years. There were, many projects that, while I was going through his profile, I could correlate those projects which have, physically there. In the subsequent questions, definitely I'll ask him more about, one of his project, which I'm not sure it is completed, the one in Sri Lanka, but I'll come back to that again. Okay. On the the energy efficient products and environmental friendly products and technology for buildings, I would say that our environment is changing, and it's changing drastically, and there is a very strong need for us to be aware of that fact and be active, and do from our side whatever we can to conserve this environment. So if we look at a building particularly, the energy guzzlers are lighting and air conditioning. These two big energy guzzlers, and the building itself, all our buildings, especially the commercial use buildings, they constitute almost 50% of the energy consumption. So optimum use of natural lighting and space conditioning is very, very important. And one of the tools could be used is daylight harvesting. The second is energy efficient lighting, use of LED lighting solutions which are low wattage. Then energy efficient solutions which of course do not deplete the ozone layer, and also intelligent features in these lighting and in these solutions, like use of smart sensor, motion and presence detecting sensing technologies, smart sensor that can use different algorithms based on various factors of temperature, humidity, motion or presence to control these two areas that I said, lighting and air conditioning. Also, use of renewable energy sources, which of course, solar is the topmost, and which not only brings down the energy usage and the cost, and we are fortunate as a country to get ample sunlight. So, which though mandated in many buildings by the policy, by the government, but I think each one of us should lay emphasis on that. And also on the water management, there are smart technologies available, water meters available to measure the water use and complete water management. So all these solutions not only help in conservation of energy in the standalone buildings, but collectively, when they become part of a smart city, centralized management, they can really bring down the cost of energy and have huge impact on the environmental challenge that we have today. So we as a company realized the need for such technologies, and we started working on these products and solutions a few years back. And we offer very cost-effective range of standalone as well as the network solutions, which are in our lighting control solutions, and also class-leading solar solutions that we offer for standalone buildings and smart cities.
That's nice. So, the product industry is also changing, as the architectural industry is changing. So the products are also in sync with the changes that are happening around us. We'll come back to you, Mr. Yadav, with audience questions. Mr. Kapil, we have one question here. You spoke about how technology is being used in designing and creating buildings, but how architects are equipping the buildings with smart technology in terms of its maintenance, in terms of its operations. Green buildings now we are all talking about, sustainable building. Wellness is something that we are all talking about now. So how, as a designer, you feel that technology is enabling buildings for all these aspects?
So we are using a lot of these technologies. We are using BMS to control the entire building, especially the usage, the electrical usage, and the elevators, how you can operate the elevators in the best format so that the minimum usage of the electricity is there, the energy loss is less. By using like in towers, we use a lot of bus bars. So what happens is, otherwise if you're using cables going right up to the top of 70th floor, so there's a lot of energy loss. I mean, Vivek would be the right man to tell you about this thing. But we started using, and we used in the first tower also that we did was Sripari Arcade in 2000. We used the bus bar system where that's the loss of energy is controlled. It's minimized. So elevators, the other thing is that your destination control elevators, so that what happens is you can define the level that you want to go with it. And when there are a group of people going, you define your destination. So it groups you together and sends you to one elevator so that it doesn't have so many stops. Otherwise, every time an elevator stops and it starts again, the energy use is more than just letting it go at one go. Then a lot of things we use in most of the buildings for technologies we do use in most of our towers now.
So how these technologies have changed architecture? Because the products and materials available at the time define the buildings of that time. How do you have they reshaped the way buildings are being designed?
Absolutely. Earlier we couldn't think of a tower because once the tower crane came in, once the your concrete mixes came in, otherwise by doing the hand mix and doing a tower was it was a dream. You couldn't even do a slab, in a day's time with the gang and everything. Today you got concrete being, mixed at 20 kilometers away, and then it comes to your site and it's pumped right from the bottom to the 50th floor or whichever floor the construction is going on. So this is all possible because of technology, that we could think of going high rises. We could think of going 6 basements and 5 basements and all that because of these technologies that is there available for construction.
Okay, fantastic. So, Mr. Yadav, coming back to you, like I spoke about, wellness is something now everyone is talking about. Lighting is one of the important aspect of it. Natural lighting, everyone is looking at how to have maximum natural lighting. So use of sensors for natural lighting. What do you have to say? How do you see the way forward? Mixing the technology and our natural elements.
So, of course, the energy efficiency part is one which I spoke about, and I also, said about the daylight harvesting. So, with the ever increasing demand of energy saving on one side, and better recognizing the benefits of natural light for our health on the other, there are more and more buildings are turning to daylight harvesting as a means to conserve energy and bring sunlight back into their buildings and workspaces. Okay, so daylight harvesting is one such more advanced technique, and used in these sustainable lighting designs for buildings today. What it does is automatically dims or adjusts the brightness of light in response to the amount of natural daylight available in our spaces, and utilizing that natural daylight coming through the windows or the skylights. This minimizes the the amount of energy which is used in these artificial lighting solutions. So the daylighting harvesting system, what it does is it employs lighting sensors, also known as photocell sensors, to detect the prevailing light level in the environment, and then it sends the intensity of light received to a controller, which is connected to the lighting control system. The control system in turn adjusts the electric lights automatically to the measured light level, which is needed at the the workplaces or in the environment. So the use of this technology is actually very, very important, and I feel it's here to stand. The adoption is increasing day by day. So energy savings are immense, and we have a strong portfolio for this, both of sensors and the complete lighting management solution to offer to our consumers. So it's very important. So you're creating a healthy working atmosphere. We all know that lighting is a very important element for our survival, and our mood changes with lighting. You have a gloomy day because of foggy environment that we have in Delhi these days. Generally, the mood is low. Suddenly, there is sun, and you feel bright. So this is what lighting can do. And if a lighting environment, a right kind of lighting environment can be created in workspaces. So this is not just important from the energy efficiency point of view, but also for creating healthier working conditions.
That's right. That's a as you rightly said, this is the way forward. We'll be seeing more uses of such products which can enhance our livability. Architect Kabul, a lot of questions that come to us is about how pandemic has changed not only our lifestyles but also how we are using the spaces now. So what are the changes are you envisaging in building design and architecture in coming times? Because it looks like pandemic or this is here to stay, and we'll have to live with it. So what are your views that how are we going to see the build spaces now?
So if you look at the residential build spaces, everybody is looking for an office in the house, and we've started doing that because most of them they've experienced the pandemic, and most of them had to work from home, and they had to have some kind of a space or a niche or a nook, or they had the kids moving around and shouting, and they conducted all the meetings, which were really disturbing and everything. So we, in the larger apartments, of course, we started introducing an office for the home. In smaller apartments, in the community spaces, in the clubhouses, in the some kind of a nook or a pod we are creating. where they can just go down and they can have, a meeting conducted from there itself, so that, they do not disturb the family, nor the family disturbs them, and the business can be conducted easily. Another very important feature that has been brought back, previous years we used to have a lot of balcony that was there in the house, which had vanished due to the square footage. We thought every square feet was to be taken inside, and everybody, even the old houses or the old buildings that were there, people were just enclosing those balconies and taking them inside. Now they've gone back and they've started, everybody's wanting a balcony in each of the houses, so that they realized what the importance of the balcony was. It's not always about square footage. It's about better conditions of living. And so balcony was becoming a very important aspect of the design again. For offices also, we started introducing a lot of the open spaces. And, so like when there are too many staff within the office space, they could move out into open areas, they get better air. And with the pandemic and the traffic and everything coming down, the pollution has reduced and you get better quality even when you're sitting outside. So these are some of the elements and the design thoughts that we've given, and we started incorporating them there.
And these trends are here to stay, or do you think these are just short term and probably we'll just go
I think at least for our generation, it's going to stay.
Okay.
Because, we've seen the worst, and everybody in each family has experienced, they've been through major traumas, and I don't think they could just get over it immediately.
That's correct. Mr. Yadav, you had a question for our speaker, Architect Yadav.
Yeah, the question was basically on one of his very interesting projects when I was, as I said, when I was going through his work. So this project in Sri Lanka, which is on the cricket.
The World Cup.
Yeah, tell us more about it, please.
So it's unfortunately with the market scenario in Sri Lanka, everything has come to a halt. But it was for the 1996 World Cup winners in Sri Lanka, and the team, they wanted to do a tower. They were given a parcel of land that they wanted. The only time the Sri Lanka cricket team has won the World Cup was in 1996. So they got this land parcel from the government, and they thought that they wanted to do something where they could make their own houses, and they could, give out spaces, so that the thought was very good. They thought they would lease out some spaces or sell out some spaces to generate some revenue for the cricketers who in their old age, a lot of them, they cannot support themselves. They don't have any kind of a retirement scheme or something. So that money, the club, the Sri Lanka Cricket Board would support them with that kind of funds. So the team came to me. The captain of the team was Arjuna at that time, and then we got in touch, and he asked us to do a project, a tower, which would say something about cricket and something about a bat, ball, World Cup. He wanted something, so he wanted to say that, the building should speak for itself on this. So that's why, if you see the sketches also that I showed, we started, with the ball, bat, and everything until we eventually came to the final design of the World Cup. And that is actually a mixed-use building. We've got retail space downstairs. We've got commercial offices. There's a theater. There's a multiplex rather. Office spaces, residential, hotel, an observatory on the top. And we've got a revolving restaurant. And on top, the highlight of the whole project was we planned an indoor net cricket within the dome. So it was a total mixed-use building. But today, unfortunately, since the past couple of years, Sri Lanka is going through a bad patch with the finances and the dollar problems that they're facing. So the project is on hold currently, but I'm hopeful someday it will come up because it's a very interesting, very nice design. It's very close to my heart as well.
So looking at the design and the renders, I mean, just visualizing when it really comes up physically, it definitely will be quite a marvel to watch.
Yeah, they were thinking of making it as a national monument, and they had a lot of plans for it, but unfortunately, the financial situation in Sri Lanka is not too good for it.
Yeah, but let's hope for the best, and we hope that building comes to reality very soon, because it's a good example of social, economic, and the architectural impact for the country. It contributes to all those aspects. Architect Kabul, one question that we have here is, what has been your tech mantra for buildings that are future ready? So, what would be your tech mantra?
I would say you have to keep on improving every day and learn every day, because innovation is, it changes every day. There's something new coming every day, and you got to learn. You can't be saying that you know everything. You got to learn every day. You got to practice new things. You have to do innovations yourself, and if you don't, you'll get stagnated. So, like you see Havells or all the other, companies, electrical, the other technology companies, they keep on improvising. So we as architects also, we got to keep on updating, and coming up with new solutions. You can't be just doing the same design, over and over again. So every design has to be different from the previous one, better, and incorporating all the technologies, because that's the way future. Sustainability is very important. I think pandemic has taught us that.
That is true. Keeping an open mind and practicing innovation. So that is what architect Reza Kabul has to say. Mr. Yadav, do you think IoT connected buildings are now the future for Indian design and Indian cities?
Definitely, Sapna. The way we are all moving, everything is getting connected in our lives. The mobile revolution has changed a lot of how we live our lives today, how we interact with our homes, how we interact in our buildings. All this thing is getting recorded as most of the things that we use are getting connected. Be it our appliances that we use, our air conditioning, our heating systems, they're all becoming slowly connected. When you live in a connected world, there are many advantages. Of course, for the user, comfort, convenience is something which is very critical as we use smart spaces. But what is going to happen most importantly is that there is a huge amount of data which is getting collected. And this data for service providers, manufacturers, it is going to act as a next big engine for delivering a lot of things. For example, a utility company, a distribution company which is distributing electricity in a smart city. It is getting the inputs from homes. It is getting inputs from buildings that we use for various uses. So that data they will use not only to manage the energy bills of those buildings, the sanctioned loads, etc., but also it will help in forming policies and initiatives to conserve our environment, and also better utilization of our resources. Then I'll take example of manufacturers. So manufacturers like us, when I start getting data, for example, I'll give example of what I'm using at my home. I'm very fond of all the IoT connected products. I think I have more than about 60-70 different devices in my homes which are being used on IoT. There is one such device which is there in my distribution board, which is telling me the consumption of various devices that in my home. It gives alarm if something is being used for more longer period of time, or from the threshold if more energy is being used. Of course, that data only tells me to switch on or switch off things, but that data is also being fed to the service provider who's put that small device in my this thing. So they have that huge data getting collected. It also collects data on the health of each and every device. Let's say air conditioner, particular model of air conditioner, what's the diagnostics needed for that one. There could be a pre-alert to me that you need to clean your filters. Water purifier, that is also an intelligent one. So water purifier is sending signal to again the manufacturer saying the filters need to be changed in the next 2 weeks or so that they can be a preempted services coming to the end user. So life of end user, people who are using such devices, is going to become very, very efficient. I don't know whether to call it simple, but we have to get used to staying like this in a connected world. So and also this data will help the manufacturer to design more futuristic products, because they'll be continuously getting this feedback. So IoT is here to stay, become mainstream of our lives, and buildings definitely are going to be IoT enabled in near future. And for the whole ecosystem to benefit, this is the way forward.
That's right. Commercial buildings, we have already been seeing, being IoT connected, and now it's filtering on to the residential segment as well. Before we move on to the next segment, Architect Kabul, I have one last question with you, which I have here. Is we have a lot of questions, but I'll take just one. You spoke about that we should be, innovation ready. There, Mr. Yadav spoke about so many technologies that are coming in. What according to you, we are in the new year, so talking about looking forward, what according to you would be the 3 technologies which will be at the forefront of design and construction going forward?
So many of them, you can't even this thing, but as a designer, software, because we're getting a number of softwares that are coming in, and most of them are now, name some of them is Grasshopper and Rhino, and so you can really actually go into parametric designs, and that's how we started doing all the buildings that are they're not straight lines. You can do any shapes, any forms, but this has to be carried forward by the other consultants as well. Even further, it has to be carried forward by the contractors who's going to actually build it, the builders, so that they know how it has to be executed. Because for us to do a design, which is a parametric design and very free-flowing design, if you do not know how to construct it, because the end developer or the builder is very important. He plays a very important role in doing that. If he doesn't do it right, the design, however good you've done it on the board or on the computer, it will not get translated into reality. And that would be a real drawback. So it's not that I alone can take technology, go advance myself in technology, or, Havells or Vivek or, you or whoever, but it's everybody. All of us, we have to move forward and, embrace technology, look for new technologies and move it.
That's correct. The digital gap or the technological gap among the stakeholders, it's a very big challenge, probably. And let's hope that, we see this filtration of technology. As Architect Reza Kabul has said, software is one of the biggest technology that he sees, being at the forefront of construction and design. And that is where all the stakeholders will have to come together to, be better aligned for using, optimizing the technology and resources that we have. So thanks, Architect Kabul and Mr. Vivek Yadav, for taking those questions from our audience. Let me also now invite Mr. Remel Behel, Head for Enterprise Business, Havells India Limited, to give the thank you note for the day. Mr. Remel Behel is the Head of Enterprise Business and engages with architects, consultants, interior designers, industry, government, infrastructure, and key commercial project stakeholders. He's an electrical engineer with 26 years of experience in the electrical industry and expertise in enterprise solutions, business development, strategic planning, and sales. Mr. Behel, you had been listening to that conversation and what architect Kabul had to say. So what is your summarization of this session?
Thank you, Sapna. Very good afternoon to all. It was a very interesting session, and we had the honor and privilege, to listen to architect Reza Kabul. And I would like to propose a vote of thanks to our honored guest of this event. Really, today we got a detailed understanding on how technology is being used for designing and in architecture. And architect Reza Kabul's emphasis on sustainable buildings and the focus on combining architecture with technology is very, very relevant in today's scenario. So the photorealistic rendering of the projects, the One Marina project, was very, very interesting and informative. And your thoughts on bringing about a harmonious balance between technology and architecture, and the optimum usage of space is very, very relevant in today's scenario. So each one of your projects, which you have shared with us today, has really been an opportunity to understand the confluence between technology and architecture. We at Havells are also committed to providing energy efficient products and solutions in line with the world-class projects that you are doing, and really to push the boundaries of architecture and technology. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the tower project of Sri Lanka. And really, your mantra of innovating and improving is in line with the Havells philosophy, which is also, to work in close collaboration with our clients, partners, and stakeholders to achieve a successful and sustainable outcome. So, thank you so much, Architect Reza Kabul, for this very enlightening and informative session. And also, I would like to thank all the honorable participants who have taken time out for participating in this ADEX series. And I would like to thank the organizing team. And thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Behel, for stopping up this entire episode so well and expressing that note of appreciation and sincere thanks on behalf of Realty Plus and Havells India. Thanks, Mr. Yadav, as well, for being part of this session and sharing your views as a solution provider. And once again, let me thank our speaker of the day, Architect Reza Kabul, for sharing his insights and knowledge with the design industry. And most of all, as Mr. Behel said, thanks to our awesome audience for being here, sharing their time and sending in their questions. So do keep watching this space as we bring to you yet another acclaimed design expert. But as of now, let me say thanks to all our speaker. A very happy new year to Mr. Kabul and Mr. Yadav as well, and to our audience. And we thank you for being here, sharing your time, sharing your knowledge with us. And we will see you very soon, our audience. So till then, thanks and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.